going on, everybody? Ooh, it's sunny out. Yo, Kevin, what's up? First, who's first? Philip? Anyway, ooh, we got a nice breeze coming in. All right, so anyway, Uber Freight. Let me get this thing out of the way. Let me get this out of the way. Not much, man. All right, so I booked my first Uber Freight load. Yes, I did. So this is going to be part one update. After I get the load picked up, delivered, we'll do the final. Right? Justin, that curtain's giving me all kinds of grief. All right, anyway. So it works just like they say it does. Right? You're on there, you're looking at the loads, and they got a book now button. I click that button, and then it shows you a traffic signal with a green light, said the load's yours. And it does work that simple. Then it's click and go, but it's better. It's better than the Schneider's click and go. It's better than the Big Orange's click and go, because when I'll demonstrate the app in the next one. You know, I'll pull up a load. But when you pull up a load, it will show you on the map different color pinpoints, one for shipper, one for receiver, so you can kind of really see where it's at, right? Then, as you scroll down, it tells you who the shippers and receivers are with their addresses, so you can look them up if you want. But when you hit that book now button, it actually works. And then as seconds later, after you book the load, you get the rate confirmation sheet. Right? You get the rate confirmation sheet. It looks like this. I got one in here somewhere. See, it'll have their name, Uber Freight, on there. So, you get the rate sheet. And then they'll call you. You know, not too long after, they'll make a phone call to you. And it basically, you know, since it's a pilot program, they're calling you to make sure that you didn't accidentally click the button, that you really want the load. And so they just confirm that, you know, hey, did you mean to assign the load to yourself? You say yes. They say, okay, thanks for, you know, hauling the freight for us. And it says if you need any problems or any help, just call, right? So far it's working exactly like they said. They only, you know, they do have some things, like they only pay once a week if you want to use them to pay, unless you want to use a factoring company. They pay on Wednesday, so everything you book up and deliver by Sunday night, by midnight, you'll get paid on that Wednesday, you know, coming up. If you deliver load on Monday or Tuesday, you got to wait all the way up until the next Wednesday. You know, just like a regular company, if you were running freight, like even at Schneider, right? You get paid on Friday, but everything you book up until, everything you deliver until Monday night, you get paid for that Friday. But if you deliver one on Tuesday, you got to wait until through that Friday, the next Friday. So it's kind of the same concept with all these other companies. But if you want your money right away, then you can just factor it. But they don't charge you nothing. See, Uber doesn't charge you nothing to send you your money. So, therefore, you know, if you're factoring a lot of your loads, just wait and get paid on that one. So you don't, you know, you're not paying the fee on that, because, you know, you're going to run a mixture of freight, right, from different brokers. So, that's what I'm going to do. Yeah, this load is, This load is 192 miles. And it pays $700. So I figure that's probably pretty good, right? It's over $350 a mile for van freight. But we'll see how it works out, right? I got to get to the shipper first, see how that works. Get to the receiver, see how that works. It's an appointment for the load, and it's an open receive on the delivery. Now they say that they're going to call you within 3 hours of pickup to make sure you're able to pick the load up. On your app, there's a My Load button, and you can see your loads. Now, if you can't do the load up until that point, there's always a cancel load button you can push to get rid of the load, right? So you can always give the load back through the app if you really don't want it, or if you run into a problem like breakdown or your other load didn't unload in time, that type of stuff. So we'll see how it goes. That's the update. No, there's no penalties. Think about penalties. None of these brokers can penalize you for if you don't. That's the misconception. If you can book as many loads as you want, but if you don't get there to pick it up, they can't send you a bill. How can they send you a bill? That's kind of the same thing as, if you go to the load and they cancel it on you, then you should be able to charge them the whole amount of the load because they just ruined your day. It's the same concept, right? Most times you don't even get truck order not used because it depends on the circumstance, even with bigger companies. Because how can they charge you for something you didn't do, right? So, they can't charge you for not picking the load up. Oh, you like that? Nice tiger shirt. Because that's just like the Big Orange, right? When I was over there, they got a policy for late deliveries, or if you break down, they charge you to pick it up and take it if it can't be redone. But they can never charge you if you don't hook up to the load and actually have the bill of lading in hand, right? They can't charge you a fee for that. It wouldn't hold up anyway. Because if that's the case, right? Think about it in a legal standpoint of view. If that's the case, then when you show up and the load's not there, then you should be able to charge them for the whole price of the load, right? But they'll never pay you. You'd never get that. Just like they'll never get their money if they try to charge you because you didn't pick the load up. And a lot of things I'm seeing nowadays is some of these brokers are putting a late fee on there for a late delivery or whatever, missed appointment. And that's a bunch of bull too, because you don't have no control over traffic and so forth, so, and weather. So all right, let's see what's going on here in the comments, and then we're going to get off this deal here. I go all the way back up. Kevin says, yo. Philip says first. I don't know about that, Philip. You, Justin, and Kevin all came in, and Clayton. What's up, Clayton, out there in Texas? How's the oil business? What's up, Light Bright? See, a bunch of these people came in right at 10:01. Catch Aspect says, what's up? I'm in Coldwater. What are you at the Walmart? The big old Walmart DC. Hope you're not picking up that mulch and stuff down the street. That place there, they could take a long time to load. Edwin, thanks for that. Hope you have a blessed day also. Yo, John, what's up? Alright, so Marco says he's getting tired of Schneider's low price loads. You know, I've heard a lot of stuff going on over there since they went public, because I have a lot of friends that still work there, right? Hundreds of them. And I hear the same stuff nowadays, to where, you know, some of the stuff's a lot cheaper than what it was. They're not doing a whole lot of buys anymore, where you could pick up a load today and deliver it today, you know, drop. Instead, they're making it drop the next day or at a certain time, so you can't do 2, 3, 4 loads a day like you used to be able to. It's a lot. Well, you still could if you can find the right loads, but it was easier before they went public. So I've heard all this, you know, different things, and you know, who knows what's really going on over there. And then, you know, one of my friends told me about the contract. It's not the real contract, it's an extension, is what he said when he read it. It's an extension, like a 5-month extension till the end of the year. And Snorlord, is that right? It's just an extension contract? Yes, Snorlord's on here, I believe. So if that's right, it's an extension contract, then what's going to be in the real contract? I have my suspicions what they're going to do. My opinion on what's going to happen in that new contract, on a business part of it. See, because what they've been struggling with is owner-operators are treated more like company drivers. And they're really having a problem with that fine line of what is an owner-operator and what's a company driver, and how you treat each aspect of it. Because, let's face it, all these big mega carriers, they all want to have the control. They want to control. Well, if you have a true owner-operator, at least on all your freight, you don't have all that control. And if you have all that control over them, that makes them an employee. So they're fighting with that. That's why they've changed in their wordage on what they call the contractor now, and what they call their ICA, or was a business owner advisor now, or whatever, you know. They're kind of like going in the line of Landstar, right? They're getting the terminology like Landstar had, and all that, because see, at Landstar you're treated like a real owner-operator, right? You're treated like a real owner-operator. Whoa, wait a minute! Breaking news! Breaking news! Beep, beep, beep! Snorlord is going to Travel Loco. He's loco for the Yoko. Steve, are you starting rumors again? But see that they're fighting with that terminology, and see, because at Landstar there is no driver on the block. You don't have to take your truck to orientation and drive somebody around the block, because for everybody's information, that is not a DOT requirement that a trucking company gives you a road test. That is not a DOT requirement. That is a company, their company, or all these other companies give road tests. That's their requirement. They don't even have to give a road test to a company driver. It's not the law. The FMCSA law states that if a company wants to give a road test, that's fine. But the company has the option to waive the road test and accept the state's road test when they got their license. That's the only road test you have to do for the rest of your life in trucking. Was the very first one to get your license. So when people tell you, oh no, it's the road, you have to do the road test, it's really not. That's their rule. It's not a government rule. So that's what I'm saying. See, Landstar doesn't make you do a road test. And you pay for everything. That makes you the true owner-operator. See, that's where I think that contract's going to go to. I wouldn't be surprised if they got to pay for other tolls eventually. Or, they got to pay for their transflows and Qualcomm and all that. I wouldn't be surprised if it doesn't go to that point. We'll see. But now that they're public, if they go that way, guess what that means for them? More profit. Right? It's more profit. Well, Justin says trailer fees. Well, I consider the 35% that they take, I consider that trailer fees. That you're getting that. See, that's like Landstar, right? They give you 65% because the trailer fee's in there. Because if you have your own trailer, right? If you got your own trailer, Landstar give you an extra 7%. It was 8 back in my day, but I think it's 7 now. So then they're up to 72. See, that's the difference. They're getting charged for that trailer, whether they say they're not or they're not. They are. They're getting charged in that 35%. It's the same as Landstar. You only get 65%, but if you have your own trailer, they give you 7 of it back. So the fee's in there. Because we know there's nothing for free. That's like the tolls and everything. Those are probably in there when they do the rate, and they put on the board, like if you got to drive to Chicago, because they know most of them aren't going to drive the way they want you to go. You're going to use the toll road, so they factor $50 more into that, So, if they got to stay, if they made it the way to start paying for all that, the rate should go up, right, for those loads to cover the toll expense. But if they do go that way, then then they got to stop that, making you go to center to watch videos every quarter, right? That's one thing I didn't like. You had to go out of your way because they wouldn't let you watch it at the computer at home or in your truck on your regular computer, which you should be able to if you're an owner-operator. You should not have to go out of your way and lose money to stop at a terminal to watch a video. So, the same thing for driving around the block. They call it a review now. See, it was training, then went to annual review, and so they're changing terminology to try to keep that up, but that proves nothing, right? Anybody that knows about trucking, if you drive 200 or 300 loads a year and you do it with no incidences, what's a 3 or 4 mile, 5 mile trip around the block going to prove? Nothing. Because you're going to drive it real slow and both hands on the wheel, and just like you did when you did it for your road test for the state. So it proves absolutely nothing. It's just a waste of time and money. Now, if these companies wanted to throw something out there like, if you were involved in an accident or you had so many incidences in a year, then you're required to do an annual review. That's a little different, right? Skull, cherry Coke. I don't have any cherries to put in here, Skull. Although it is cherry season, but they're on sale at Myers for $1.77 a pound. But yeah, cherry Coke's good. Nothing wrong with that. Same thing with cherry Pepsi, cherry 7-Up. All that stuff's good. Time is it? I gotta make sure I get over here and pick my load up on time. Oh, I got time. But I parked right here. Mr. Fuel. And I tell you what, this is one, you know what truck stop. What a dump. I go in there, can't even get coffee this morning. Go in there and they're all empty. They got fans going. There's only 2 workers in there. They're lazy. They don't do nothing. You say, hey, you know, you didn't even make no coffee. And they just look at you like you're stupid. And they go about talking and on their cell phones. So that's why I'm drinking this Coke this morning. Because they're lazy. So Mr. Fuel, if you were on YouTube, you would get the thumbs down. Just like that. Thumbs down. Indianapolis, exit 4, Mr. Fuel. They need some management up in this place to, you know, police their workers so they actually do what they're supposed to. TJ, the Bull of the Woods, is up in the house again, and let's see, I missed a comment back here. Morning, Butch. Ben, what's up? Edwin says, does Uber Freight show the rate for the load before you book it on each load? Yes, Edwin. On the app, you see the load, you see the rate, right? You see everything. Marco says, would you do power only? Well, I would if I didn't have a trailer. I talked to one of my friends, Gear Grabber, and we talked about that. You know, if you couldn't get a trailer. So there's a lot of power only. And power only works like this, for people that don't know what power only is. You get on the DAT board, let's say, and you search for power only loads because you have no trailer. And let's say there's a trailer in Detroit, and they want it in Dallas. They might say it pays $100 or $200 for you to take that trailer from Detroit to Dallas, $200. But in the comments it'll say you can use the trailer, but it has to be delivered within 7 days. So which means you pick it up Monday, they want the trailer there by the next Monday at that delivery, you know, where it needs to go. But you can put all the freight you want in it. So you make a few $100s to pick the trailer up, and then you put freight in it, you get on the DAT board and you load it, because now you have a trailer. You load it up, drive it down to Texas, unload it, and then drop the trailer off. And then you do another power only, you find another empty trailer. And some have freight in it, so where you're just taking the freight and dropping it, trailer and all. So you don't need a really trailer to do it, you know, because you're just using other people's trailers. And you're getting paid to use them, right? What do you have to do to sign up for Uber Freight? Is it free, and do you have to pay? Uber Freight is free. All you do is you go to their site, carrier, you fill out a packet, and they will contact you and give you login information for the app. They don't charge you to pay you, and they got their everybody can look up online what their tariffs are, what their tariff is. Every trucking company, if they have tariffs, has to publicly show what their tariff is. So if you want to see what Schneider National's tariff is for truck order not used and all that, it's a lot more than what the ICs are getting. All you gotta do is look up Schneider Freight tariffs, and you'll see what they charge. You know, they charge extra for a hazmat load. Is that in the rate? I don't think so. And so forth. Go look it up. But everybody has to publicly put the tariffs out there. And I'm gonna try to download, while I'm talking to you guys, Uber Freight app on my tablet. I gotta try to remember my passwords and stuff. But if I can remember it, I'll show you what it looks like, right? We'll do a we'll do a live demonstration of what it looks like. Let me see. Let me see if I can find it here. I'm gonna have to do it for the phone. So that's another thing. If you got an iPad, sometimes you got to put iPhone only to see the app, and it's only a phone app. They haven't got one for the tablet yet, but the phone app will work on the tablet. So I'm gonna download that, and then I'm gonna try to get it to go in there. Butch says I use Password Keeper on my phone. Yeah, you know, I do that too, but when I put the app on a different thing, it doesn't, you know, the phone won't tell you what the password is, right? It won't show you. So I'll have to guess. I'll have to use my best guess on what it is. So that's downloading. Oh, it's downloaded. Let's open it up and see if we can guess what this stuff is. Here, I got the tablet right here. And when it loads up, we'll see what it says. Ask for an email address. What's up, Mr. 404? What's going on, Jonathan? I seen you looking at trailers the other day, doing that video. I think you were inspecting those trailers, though, Jonathan. Did they come out all right? Did they meet the specs? Alright, so we're putting this in here. See what happens. Maybe. It's not working. Can't. I forgot the password. Isn't that something? Try it one more time. Says my password's incorrect, fellas. Anybody know what it is? We'll try one more. Alright. Don't know what it is. Of course, it's probably one they sent me, and that's why I don't remember, because I put it in once. It's in my email. Yeah, password's like as a man. Thanks, Mike. Yeah. All right. Well, what's up, John? Well, I don't write them down somewhere because, you know, somebody could find them. So I know they sent it to me in an email. And I'd have to look up the email to find it anyway. So maybe on the next one, on part 2, I'll show that. Or maybe later today, okay? Maybe later today I'll do another live video and we'll bring up the app and show you what it does. And go that route. Unless I end this scope now, or this YouTube now, and start start it up, right? So what do you guys want to talk about? What do you want to talk about this morning before I end this deal? Or wait, I'm actually gonna go in here and try to retrieve that password. Alright, we're going into the email and we're going to check it out. So let's Snortlord say, how to get a trailer, says 404. Snortlord says, hey Butch, email me at StephenAllington our Gmail at Steve, not AR, at buddy. Do you have to be a part of the DMV pool when you have a DOT number? What are you talking about? The drug and alcohol and drug pool? If you have active drivers, you gotta be part of the A&D pool, but I don't know what you're talking about with DMV pool. Probably not today. At some point in the future, could you explain in detail how a lease operator can take care of his own IFTA taxes and what all that entails? Well, you're gonna have to see, I got these emails here and I'll look for it in a minute, but we'll talk about IFTA. Alright, so with IFTA, you got to have your own plate from your own state, and you get your own IFTA account. And some companies, some lease companies, they want to do the IFTA, they want to do your IFTA. But if they allow you to do your own IFTA, then what you got to do is you got to keep track of all your miles you run in each state and the gallons purchased in each state for every quarter. And then all you do is you go on your state's website in your IFTA account and you fill out the miles you ran in each of those states and the gallons of fuel you purchased in each of those states. And, just the totals for the 3 months. And they'll spit out a number at the bottom how much you owe. It'll calculate what you owe. And then you pay them by either credit card, debit card, ACH transaction. And then that's all you got to do. So if you're running an e-log system, or even these Ram McNally's and Garmin's and GPS's will do the IFTA, but they might not be totally accurate for your miles, because if they lose their signal, but if you run one of those, then you can download your quarterly mileages, and it shows every state that you ran those miles in, and then all you gotta do is just keep track of your fuel. But if you do it a good e-log system that keeps track of both mileage and fuel, all you do is print out a quarterly report from that and transpose the numbers over to the IFTA page. And if you do it that way, it takes about 3 or 4 minutes. It doesn't take long. It takes you longer to log in than it does to fill the form out. And that's it. And you can't do it monthly, because a lot of these companies charge you monthly out of your statements. They do that because people quit. But it's a quarterly filing only. You can't do monthly filings. What would be the purpose of doing your own IFTA when you're leased to a company versus letting the company take care of it? Mike says. Well, Mike, here's what I suggest to do. Do your own IFTA. Like if you run Truckin' Pro program from Fogline Software, and if you do run that, or if you want to get that, go there, put in the code JL10, the letter J, the letter L, and the number 10, get $10 off that program. But if you use that program and you do your miles in every state in there with your fuel purchase, put your fuel purchase in there, it'll figure your IFT out for you. So then you can see if the company's charging you more, right? You can see if they're overcharging you for your IFTA. Because, you know, nothing says they can't overcharge you, because they could say it's an administrative fee, right? Does the companies give you the real fuel discount from the TAs and the pilots and all them? No, they don't, right? And I know somebody with a wrench is going to take care of that stupid jerk right there. So I guess nobody's doing it, so I'll have to do it, because he's just an idiot. See you later, idiot. Bye, idiot. See ya. Okay, so we got rid of the idiot. Anyway, because everybody knows, okay, that the fuel discount. Alright, well, it's pretty bad when I'm faster. It's pretty bad, Snorlord, when I'm faster. Okay, so let's take a look at Landstar, for example. When I was at Landstar back in the day, we had the Petro and TA Cost Plus program. And we'd get, man, it was 40, 50, 60, sometimes 70 cents off a gallon. You know, different times of the year. Alright, now we look at Schneider for the TA, for the pilot Flying J. I don't think you're getting the real discount, because, you know, who's over there right now? What's the discount this week? And I'll give an example. I'll give the example. What's the discount for the next 2 weeks? 20, 25, 27, 15? What are they giving you guys? Well, multitask faster, Snorlord, or 404 trucker. What's the fuel discount? 30, 31. Okay, here's the example. In Michigan, or in Ohio, look up pilot truck stops in Ohio, like around Beaver Dam, Ohio, right? If I had my pilot app up, I would tell you what it is. I'll bring it up. Let's look at this, for example. What's the price in Beaver Dam, Ohio? Anybody got the pilot app handy? And we're going to prove a point. This is all about proving a point here. You're not getting the full discount. I'd say you're getting about half. I say you're getting half. That's my guess. I can't get my pilot app to show up. But anyway, I think it's probably around 260 something, right? At the pilot in Perrysburg, Ohio, or Beaver Dam, or, you know, even down in Vandalia. I guess nobody has the pilot app. Alright, well, if you take 30 cents off of that, I believe it's 260 there. That'd be 230. Well, exit 99 at the mom and pop, it's 218 a gallon. So, shouldn't your discount get you below or right at the mom and pop's price? It should get you below it. Not still 15 cents to 20 cents above it, right? Just like in Michigan, you know, it's $2.70 a gallon at the Flying J in Saginaw, but you go a few miles south there at the Mom and Pop, it's $2.38. Do the math, you know. So there you go. Robert, so you won't be around long talking like that, because I know you're talking about yourself, but that's all right. We like comedians, and your picture's pretty funny looking too. But everybody like that comment? You gotta love these trolls. They're great. They're great. Got him. Findlay, Ohio. But see, if you look at a lot of the states, though, do that calculation, and a lot of times, you know, they're higher than the local place, right? My deadhead average weekly is really low. I would say, well, I got it on for all the loads I've done in the last 3 months, my deadhead is around 60 miles. I had no deadhead the other day. I got 10 miles today. Tomorrow I'll have 100 miles. So I'm averaging about a 60-mile deadhead. Right, their DEF is higher than heck, man. That's why I don't get my DEF from the Flying J, pilots, Petros, TAs, Loves. If you're in Michigan and you're at the exit 151, which is Saginaw, Michigan, there's a Flying J, and right across the other side of the interstate is a BP. The BP I buy the stuff at is $2.21 a gallon at the pump. $2.21. That's what it is. It's $2.21 a gallon. Now, if they can sell it for $2.21 a gallon, right? If they can sell it for $2.21 a gallon, then why can't the other big truck stop sell it for that? Because the mom and pop's making money at $2.21, and they're charging $2.79, $2.84. They're making a fortune, right? And here you go. If I can get this to come in, I'll prove a point. Can you read that? DEF, $2.21 a gallon. So, there you go. It's $2.21 a gallon. Shows you how much they're really overcharging. John Flynn, thanks for the super chat, buddy. I appreciate you donating for all the knowledge I throw out there. As Red Viking Trucker would say, I drop little golden nuggets all throughout the whole YouTube video, and you got to piece them together. That's what he says anyway. But and I don't like to get into none of the drama. What's better, out of the pump or the box? Well, the box costs you a whole lot more. You know, the box costs you what? Well, you can get it as low as $12.99. Hey, Alex, I appreciate it. You could get the box is like $13.99. Some are $15 for only 2.5 gallons. So the box can cost you upwards of $6 a gallon, compared to, you know, $2.21 at the mom and pop shop, or even $2.80 at there. But I have heard though, oh, I appreciate that, Alex. I've heard though that the box is more pure than what you're getting in the bulk. That's what I've heard. I really don't believe that. That's just like oil, right? One oil is really not better than the other oil. It's all oil. You know, they pump it in there, and the two biggest oil companies sit across the street from each other. I wouldn't be surprised they don't pump each other's oil in each other's bottles if one's, you know, has more production time or has more time. I'm sure they probably share it, you know. I wouldn't doubt it. Did I hear about Heartland buying Interstate? Yes, I've heard that. And I've also, you know, everybody read about the Mercer deal, right? The Mercer thing going on. What's going on with the trucking companies? Right? You had Celadon was in the news for their deal, and now Mercer's in the news for what's going on there. What a mess. Right? What a mess. 13 Bull says, actually, that's pretty true. I can talk to a guy that picks it up. It's in raw form out of the tank, into the tank, or a mix of water into it. Yeah. Yeah, it's kind of like, you know, it's kind of like this other stuff where, you know, anybody's ever picked up at Del Monte or, you know, Heinz and, you know, all these other places, especially the vegetables. And, you know, they put that same vegetable, that same green bean goes in their cans that goes into the store brand can. Except all they do is add a little more water. So you get, you know, 2 or 3 less beans, but the 20 or 30 cent price difference in the can, right? But then you'll have people swear up and down that it tastes different. It's no different. You know? That's just like in the automotive factory when you got, you know, back in the day when you had the Blazer, Chevy Blazer, and the GMC Jimmy, and then the Oldsmobile Bravada, they all went down the same line. They all went down the same line. All that was a little different was maybe a little part of the interior. But they went down the same line. Vic Matt, I appreciate it. Thanks a lot. So, you know, it's like diesel fuel, right? Everybody says, oh man, you know, Love's fuel burns better than Pilot fuel, or Pilot fuel burns better than TA. All the fuel comes from the same place. The tankers roll in, you know, to the tankers roll in to the big complex, then they hook it up and fill it up. It's all the same diesel, you know. They might add, you know, the petrol blend or this other blend, they might add a couple more additives, maybe, right? But it all comes from the same place. It's just coming in a different tanker, that's all. But, you know, everybody has their preference. Kind of like everybody likes to run where they like to run, right? When it comes to trucking. So you can never get 2 truck drivers to agree on anything, just about. Or, well, you can get 2 of them to agree on something, but if you get a whole handful of them sitting around the table, you know, some of them aren't going to agree with what's going on or said, so. Philip exit, then come back. Philip says, did the feed get cut, or is it my phone? Philip, you need a new phone. See, Snorlord got a new phone. Everybody, Snorlord's going to do a live YouTube video one of these days. He's going to do a live video one of these days, and not just a parody. See, he doesn't have to do parodies anymore. He could actually do one because he's got a new phone. And I'm proud of him. I'm proud of the little guy getting a new phone. I know he's going to call me up and cuss me out later, but that's all right. 13 Bull says, I'll spill the beans. I work for Love's. Love's picks up soybean oil, or whatever they use, and they mix it on site with diesel. It wouldn't help operate the first. We need to see Snorlord. Okay, anyway. these trucks will run on about anything, right? Diesel motors will run on about anything. You know, it's a lot of people back in the old days, right? A lot of people didn't buy all those additives. They just, they wanted to clean their injectors. They poured a little bit of transmission fluid in their tank, or something else, right? They poured a little something else in there, and that's what they did. They didn't spend all the money on the additive stuff. They made their own additive, and it still ran. Nothing hurt the motor. It still ran. What time is it? All right, fellas, I'm gonna get off here and go pick this load up. I'll answer this other. Let's see what the bull says. The driver told me they has heard that a few instances where the misblend, the kickers loves roses 69,000 per truckload for mixing themselves. They make more money if they mix it themselves. That could be, they could be. Who knows what they do out here. But personally, I haven't seen any difference. I feel at all of them. I even feel at the mom and pops. So, but I did notice there sure are a lot of these guys running around, and they can't drive very well, but somehow they get a license, and they all get their own authority. Oh, I should have showed the back of his thing. He gets his trailer washed, right? He didn't do an inspection on his trailer. He's at a truck stop. I don't know if I can get the back of it or not before he leaves. Let's see. What's wrong with that trailer? Anybody see? I don't know if you can see it. It's on the right-hand side, passenger side rear. It's missing something. Right? He's missing a mud flap. Now, that's right, Mike. He's missing a mud flap. Now, come on. He just come out of the truck wash over there. He didn't do his inspection, because if he did, he knows he's missing a mud flap. And doesn't he know that's a violation? If you're in Arizona, and you know how when you come up to Kingman, right? You come up to Kingman, and you start to go down the hill, past the Petro. There's usually always a DOT officer sitting on that ramp with binoculars. And you know what he looks for? He looks for that right there, a missing mud flap. Because then he pulls you over. Because he knows if you're missing the mud flap, you probably didn't check nothing out on your truck. Nothing. Zero. Nothing. Because you just passed the truck stop, right? And you didn't stop and get a mud flap, right? So, every truck stop carries mud flaps. Walk here and grab one and undo 4 bolts and put it back on. Sometimes 5, depends on how it's put on the bracket. Anyway, enough of that. John says, on a full 7-day week out, how much revenue can you bring to your truck? Well, it depends, John, on what you do. You could easily bring anywhere from 55 to 7 for the revenue. I'll be somewhere in there if I stay out the whole 7 days. Just depends on what loads depends on what loads you run. I run a lot of short loads, and the reason why I run short loads is because I never run out of my 70. If I did want to stay out, if I did want to stay out through the weekend, call trying to come in. I'll call him back in a minute. Try to stay out through the weekend. It would, that. It'd be easy to do that, because this is another difference between Storlord was over at Landstar. He knows. At Landstar, you can hardly run on a weekend unless you pick a load up on Friday and deliver or Monday in van. Well, here with your own authority, where you can pick all your own loads off the DAT boards and all these other boards, I find there's a lot of places you can pick live load on a Saturday and a Sunday, because that's what I'm doing. both those days. So I delivered last night. I'm picking up this morning right down the street. I'll go 100 miles. I'll deliver it, right? And then I'll deadhead 100 miles, pick up my next load. That only goes 190 miles. So anyway, we'll see y'all later. We gotta go pick this load up. Thanks to everybody that gave a super chat. I appreciate it. And you know, everybody goes, all these other guys say, you know, hit the like button, ring the bell, do this, do that. If you don't like my videos, hit the dislike. And you know why they say that, right? Because every time one of those gets hit, it's considered a view. It's considered a view. Brent, down in Florida, how's it going, buddy? So it's considered a view. So if you want somebody to have a lot of views, then that's what you do. You hit the thumbs up, the thumbs down, doesn't matter. Each of them count as a view. We'll see y'all later. If you're not a subscriber and you like the content of the channel, you know, subscribe. And we'll do another live video when I get that Uber app up and running on my tablet, so I can show you guys. I'll show you a live demonstration on how it works and what it does. All right, we'll see y'all later. See ya.